It's lunchtime and the Brooklyn Cafe is open for business. Live from the Amp Media Studios, Dawn and Freddy and their team are ready to serve up a huge portion of fun for lunch with friends and neighbors. So let's break open that lunch pail and unwrap that sandwich you brought and take a front row seat in the Brooklyn Cafe and get ready to enjoy some humor and hot topics. It's time to get a healthy serving of hope and happiness to help your day go by with a smile. Your hosts, Dawn and Freddy are ready to talk about food, health, dating, or just plain dream making. If you have a story to share, movie review, restaurant critique, or just a coincidental thing that happened to you, call in toll free 888-994-4995, Studio A right now. Sit back and enjoy your lunch break at the Brooklyn Cafe. Here are your hosts, Dawn and Freddy
Welcome to the midday. Yes, we start a little bit late. Why?
Yeah, a little bit late. We were chatting with Sally.
Who?
Sally.
Who's
I had
Sally?
to, can you imagine if my name, they had actually named me Sally, like they wanted to name me Sally?
I know, it's so incredible though.
Isn't that crazy?
Why is it so incredible?
Because we've got a lot of similarities here. A lot of
Similarities?
Her Hebrew name is
Sarah, right, because my name should have been Sally.
You had a squint or something?
Still do.
Had the same thing.
You guys have the
it's
same
incredible.
Hebrew name? Is that what you're telling me?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Really?
Yes. But
Were
it
you born
doesn't
on the
stop
same
there.
day?
No, but you were born the day, actually within a year, but the day before my daughter. March 24th, she's
Yep.
25th.
I know.
Lot of
A
similarities.
lot of synchronicities,
Yes,
they say.
Absolutely.
And I always think of you when you say there are no coincidences. But, we were talking to Sally, and you ask her the same questions you ask me, and she gives you the same answers that I give you. That was the craziest thing.
Yes.
Yeah, and
just
I was
keep
just
taking it.
talking about that the other day because even your mum's age, there's very little difference. And actually, it's the same difference that I have between my daughter and my
And you.
and me,
Right.
and your mother and you. It's
Unbelievable.
just a year. That's all.
People kept asking me.
basically a year.
When do you see Sally again? I said today, everyone, when are you going to see Sally? I guess you are like the conduit to the other side, and everyone wants to know what Sally has to say.
Yeah.
That's pretty amazing. Well, happy Monday. Welcome back.
You're the
I haven't
conduit.
been here in a while, actually.
I know.
I don't even remember your name.
Well, I forget sometimes to remind me. I don't know if it's Zena or Sally. Or
Sometimes
Sarah.
things can be so crazy on the outside,
Yeah.
and you pull up here, and we walk in, and this magical space
Yeah,
happens.
magical,
There
my
is
foot. It's still
there
crazy.
really
Crazy
is
as all
something
can be
about
in
this
here.
studio. So anybody locally, come on here.
We had a
I'd
new
like to say it.
producer come in today, and she said, I've learned never judge a book by its cover, because when I pulled up, it is nothing like it is on the inside. She said, I'm so glad I walked through the doors.
Apparently, the building intimidates and scares people off on the outside.
But that's okay.
But then they're
It is?
pleasantly surprised when they come inside.
Yes.
They see you guys.
I don't know.
And that's
I
a
don't know how to take
surprise.
that.
That's a
there was an
surprise.
intern that was supposed to be here. He came twice and
Didn't like the outside.
turned around and
Yes,
left.
didn't like it.
Well, then you know what? It wasn't to be.
Exactly.
The people that walk through these doors, I truly,
That's
honestly
too
believe
easy.
that.
You know, that's too easy. It wasn't to be. It's too easy
no,
to hear that.
But look at the amount of people that come in here and come back. Me being one of them after all these years.
I get to keep all the crazies.
I think you just like to make things difficult and wonky.
No, I like to watch Jay here.
Jay knows you like to make things
Climbing over
wonky and
lights.
I
difficult.
have a big request for Jay. Can you turn the light down a little bit? I look like a ghost.
Actually, you look
I
pretty
was going to
good.
say you look really good.
Oh my God.
I would not turn it down. I would just leave it alone. You look.
Oh my goodness.
You look like a superstar. What is wrong with you?
I look like
You know
a
what?
ghost. I look
Today-
like I met one of my friends on the other side.
Today is the last Monday in July.
Is it really?
Friday is August 1st already.
Oh, my
Which is
God.
crazy.
And I got breaking news. Tomorrow is the last Tuesday in July.
But think about it. I mean, can you believe that it's already the end of July? I feel like we just had our 9-year anniversary. We haven't even been back to Bramers. We got to get back there in August.
We had to go to Brayman's, but I told everybody that it was delayed for a week because of Dad's passing. But we're gonna be back on the horse, so we're good to go. We just gotta go do and do.
It's
You know,
such
like
a
a
weird
doo-doo.
feeling. It's so, thank
That
you.
was one of my
yeah.
messages, right? You're going to keep
You just gotta keep
and
going.
going and going, yes.
You know, and I think if I'm feeling funky and wonky, I don't know how. I try to be pretty positive. Can you imagine being a negative person and going through negative things?
No,
How do people get through it?
They don't. That's the problem. They're always unhappy. I mean, I am guilty of that too, but it's so better to be happy and be positive.
You just got to go one step at a time. Take everything one day at a time, one step at a time. Don't overwhelm yourself, because then you
Exactly.
drown in a glass of water. And go do what you do.
Something, basically, you know, when we talk about our problems or something, most people that you've talked to have gone through something very similar. You know, they always say smile at someone because you don't know what they're going through. But
You have no idea what people are going
And
through.
people want
It's
to
true.
attach themselves more, empathy, and they want to know how you're feeling and yada yada. You know, they're more on top of the situation, and you can feel sometimes smothered too much. And not in a negative way, but it's just so many emotions going on right now, and you just gotta go little by little, one day at a time.
But when things happen, when negative things happen, when somebody passes, do you reevaluate your life and see both sides of it and say, I should be happy, and I should spend my life happy, and I should buy all these things I want? Or does it really matter? This is just what life is, and there's a final destination, or there's a whole lot of gray in between.
it depends really in ourselves, how we are looking at life, I think, in a situation. And that was really a good question, because where you are is what you're going to see. With someone can have the same situation but can look at it in a different way.
You know, it's funny. Before I went to your dad's funeral, and I sat back and I watched G-Man, who had never been to a funeral. And I saw at your mother's house what was happening there. And everything changed. People were nice, they were friendly. People were actually saying, you know, bad things can happen to anybody. We could be gone in an instant. You know, death doesn't make an appointment. So you should live your life to the fullest. You should enjoy. You should put your sword down and stop fighting. There's a lot of shoulda, coulda. And after your dad's funeral, it came home to me that I have to make more of an effort to enjoy the things that are around me for myself. Not outwardly, but inwardly. I don't think I enjoy things enough, like having a tuna sandwich and actually tasting it. Having a drink, a protein drink, actually tasting it. Sitting and having a conversation with Sally, which I haven't done in a few weeks. And they say, okay, let's go do the midday show. I didn't care. I you know what? I was doing me for a minute and talking to her, because we hadn't talked to her since the day of the funeral when I drove you back.
Right.
So I know where you're at right now, because I had to unfortunately go through this 6 years ago with Dad, and Mom 8 years, and my brother even earlier than that. And I get it. The only thing is, you can't rush the process. You sort of have to sit back. And today, you're not going to be the same person you're going to be tomorrow. Hopefully, you're better tomorrow, and Wednesday even better, and you get through it. And there's still things in your life that you're going through right now.
It's like, it's not even day, it's minute by minute.
It really is, Dawn.
That's emotional.
Yeah.
That's your emotions, your nerve endings right now are there. And then sometimes, you know, with my mom and my dad and my brother, I had to do what you had to do. I had to fly people in and out. I had to bring things around. I never really got to mourn. You know, I haven't been back to my parents' tombstone since Dad died. So I got a phone call from my sister, and apparently we're going in December. Apparently. We'll see how that works out. But, you know, and I really never mourned. I never had the chance to. You know, the life never slowed down enough for me to sit back and say, I'm going to take this moment for me. And your father's funeral, I just felt, that's why you saw me sit in the pit. And I didn't want to move. If I didn't have to bring Sally back because Sally
still be there?
driving, I'd still be there.
It's still there waiting for you.
You had to help me up. Oh, no, you didn't. Up the stairs. I couldn't get up the few stairs.
I mean, I didn't know your dad a long time, but Dr. Mickey, I got to sit with him one night in here when you had the women's event, and he was in there telling us his war stories. And he was a hoot, man. You know, I got to just to meet a little bit of the iceberg. And when I went to your mom's house, because we had been there before, I didn't want to move. I just sat. You know, your daughter came over, your son came over, and them I knew, and there were people in that room who knew me, and I didn't remember who they even were, like the wacky. I didn't. And I said to myself, you know something, Freddie, it's time that you take a minute. You got to take a minute, and you have to reflect on you for a minute. Because there ain't nothing more important than yourself. Of course, from yourself you give out and you feed the world, but you got to take care and appreciate yourself a little bit and say, you know what? Laughing is laughing, good times are good times, and don't drown in anger or in sorrow. It's going to be there, no matter what you go through. So, minute by minute.
It's minute by minute.
Minute by minute. You take your time. Do what you need to do.
It goes back and forth. But it was nice because I hadn't really seen you in a couple weeks. And 2 weeks ago when I saw you, he was sick and it was already getting chaotic. So I feel like I haven't really spoken to a lot of people here because I'm here and then I would run out. And then I'd come back in the morning and then by 2 o'clock I'd be running out again. So today might be like one of my first full days here, which is kind of bizarre. Last week a little bit in and out, but getting through it. So thank you all for your support and thank you for coming. And you were the hit. Everyone's like, oh, she's a psychic and a medium. And you know what? Yes, you too can call into Sally's show to her psychic and medium and see what she has to say.
We were sitting in the pit. We were laughing with Sally. We were making fun of her. So you should get here and just stand at the table and say, "You come here. Let me give you a reading."
Right.
But you know.
But it was interesting because the Monday before he passed, you and I sat here and we talked, and you gave me a message, and I knew what that message meant, and I knew what was going to happen. And in one sense, I knew. In another sense, you always hold hope, in the hope that it's not going to be. But I also knew on the other side that, and I don't mean, no pun intended, the other side of it was time, and it was just, and in a way it was kind of nice. It gave me a moment to, a few more extra days to process the inevitable.
Right.
Because no one thought at that point in time that was the inevitable.
I've thought about it too, Dawn, and there was reasons for that. I felt bad in a way because it's, without going into the whole thing, basically, I had given you a message that I wasn't happy about giving you in a way. However, if you look about it, the end of the message was it would be the right place.
Right.
And what stronger words, I don't know.
And you said to me, you said, I see a Star of David,
Yes.
and that's going to be really important and peace for him. And I knew what that meant. But it gave me 4 more days to process it.
As soon as I said it, I
you
said,
knew.
should I have said that, you know? But no, because it was meant to be said. And hopefully, you know, well, we know at that point he was basically saying, I'm in the right place.
And then the past couple days, on a lighter note, the synchronicities, my kids are on vacation, and all these signs that they're getting is unbelievable. So they were driving the rental car, and the middle seat keeps beeping and beeping and beeping. So they decided, my dad was sitting next to them, so they buckled the seatbelt and said, all right, Grandpa, buckle up, we're going for a ride.
It's real. It's real.
And it keeps coming. They got a menu, I'll show you, and it said like, it said, their drink menu last time was Mimi's Mule was one drink, and underneath it said Pop-Up, and those are my grandparents. So they're like, for them, some people call it coincidences, but I know you don't, because one after another.
It's too detailed sometimes.
Right.
You know, we can say, oh, coincidence, but when it keeps happening, it's not a coincidence. It's real. It's real.
So can there be that many, and I know my answer, I'm going to ask you, that many guardians and angels surrounding people at one time, sending messages?
Of course, it could be one person doing quite a few too. I mean, it's hard to know the answer because there's a little of both. But when it happens, and it continues, but you're aware of it, and that's, you know, maybe we'll do my show a little about that, because once you become aware, you see more. They know you're seeing more, and they have personalities too. I was just talking to my friend the other day about that. They have their personality. They'll do funny things.
Same personalities on this side?
Yes, we actually really don't change, as far as I can tell you, that we don't, because I know when Aldo's around, because I know how detailed he was and how he used to research. So I find myself researching things, and I'm talking to him because I feel that he's definitely going with me with the research. We don't change. I don't believe we change our personalities, even when we come back. We'll talk more on on my show, but it's just to be aware. Everybody I say this to you, and I've said it before, I believe we can all do this. We've got to believe it, and we've got to actually even want to do it. Sometimes I'm thinking I've had enough of doing
I think
this.
you have to listen in the silence. We were talking today. For me to tap into what I want to tap in, I tap in when it's silent or when I'm cleaning, because in my mind it's silent. That's why I clean so much. When you tap in, can you do it in the noise also? Or is it clearer when it's quiet?
I don't look at anything around me. I just tap in.
Right.
There'll be times when you say, you're making fun of me because I'm sitting. And maybe I'm tapped in. Now I found another place where I'm going to be doing it. But, you know, everybody goes through their own motions. You know, when my mom, dad died, I wasn't there. And the hospital collapsed on them. I don't know if it did or it didn't, or she had a heart attack before, during. I don't know. Nobody knows. And nobody was there. So we don't know. Dad was like your dad. He was in the hospital, and they called me to rush out right away, but they didn't tell me that I had less than 24 hours. That wasn't what was said to me. But, I mean, you know, death is a very funny animal because you don't know what to expect. It's how you handle it is the real test, those that you leave behind. You know, I've never seen a mausoleum burial like your dad had. Never in my life. And I've been to a lot of funerals, never seen that before. And it just, the reflection of everything that goes on there, the way it affects people. It was hot, baby. It was 102 degrees. And,
Yes, it was.
But it didn't feel warm to me. I was in the sun, and it didn't bother me. So everybody is touched by God's finger, and how you react to it is the real test. That's really what it comes down to.
But then I think of you saying, on the other side, when they transition, their energy is still with you.
Yes.
And yet, for me, I have to hold on to that hope that they're at a better place. They're at peace. They're happy. They're joking.
It's the people here, Dawn. We hurt. They don't want us to hurt.
Yeah.
And actually, that heat, when my daughter only passed like 2.5 years ago, and her funeral was so hot because it was that time of the year too. So I'm standing there and I'm thinking I'm going through that too, because the heat, I remember feeling so hot in her funeral. But you know, because if you have a belief and a faith system, no, we still hurt tremendously, but it helps a little bit to know that they are still there. Nothing has changed. Love never dies. I really, truly believe that. And I was kind of talking with my daughter at that point, because it was like it was a different situation. We were out in the open. It wasn't, you know, her grave was in the ground. But I brought back to me, and it was just like, it's sometimes surreal. You don't realize. And it does have effect on us, and it always will when you lose a loved one. But to have the hope and just to know that they are happy, you know, I think they hurt, if anything, because we're hurting. So they send messages to let you know that they're okay. Pennies from heaven. I find pennies a lot. My son named his dog Penny because he was finding so many pennies. They're around.
You know what's crazy when you said pennies? That Thursday when Dad was really sick, that was the first day of the end, you had this magician in here with Denise. And what did he make?
The diamond
The diamond pin. So that Thursday night, and I didn't know any of this until I came back the next day, my brother started finding dimes. Random places in the middle of the floor, dimes everywhere, and all I could think about was the diamond pin. Like, again, the synchronicity of, I guess there's messages they leave, so we're going to know who it's from. Otherwise...
And they have different people. I have a guide called White Feather. And not so long ago, I went to visit my friend in Melbourne Beach, and I had to walk to the train station, and I didn't have an umbrella. It was pouring, and I was in such a bad mood. And I looked down right on the ground. Don't know, because the rain was so hard. I'm looking down, walking to the train. I find a white feather. It's just because I know that that's White Feather. He wasn't going to send a penny. The pennies are from somebody else. So, I mean... You know, you don't have to believe what we're saying, you know, but it helps. And
It helps.
I truly believe it.
It helps. Once you get out of the mud and you actually, for me, and it's just not so
It's hard.
spiraling, to know that they're there and there's love and there's hope
Absolutely.
and there's symbols. Maybe we all make it
And
up
the
in
mere
our
fact
head.
we're
but-
even talking about it now. We had no intention of talking this, but I think it's important. You know, yes, on my show, people kind of expect that.
Oh, you
we
got a
might
whole
be
nother
doing
show
that.
we're talking about today.
Yeah, but I think we give what we need to give to people too, even because this is going out to an audience, and there may be people listening now that are saying, "Oh my gosh, I didn't expect to tune into that, but has that helped me?" I truly believe that we're in the right place at the right time.
Well, you got 58 years that you knew your dad, and I didn't realize that you worked with your dad over 10 years. I thought it was a couple of years. So you got even closer. And there are times and memories. I saw your kids also have memories. You know, you can't expect to take 58 years and just overcome loss and grief. It doesn't happen. It took you 58 years to get there. It's going to take you at least 58 minutes to get out of there. So the object of the game is that you remember them in the best of times.
That's right.
Under the best of circumstances. Right. When your dad had you on his knee and made you laugh, or when he said something that was so utterly ridiculously funny. Your son did the bit about shoes, the mud from the stadiums in his shoes, and he came home and he took them, put them in a bag. I'm gonna tell you, that's powerful stuff, man. That had me crying.
You know how you always tell me you don't know your kids? Good and the bad, right? You don't know my kids, what they did last week, and that was one of the examples. And Chelsea at the end, and her singing the song, I'm like, wow, the strength that they had was unbelievable. So proud of them. So proud.
Like I said, one step at a time. You know, give yourself at least another 58 years so that you can overcome loss.
Mickey Mouse will always have a special place. All right, why don't we take a commercial break? When we come back, let's talk about, we've got an event coming up tomorrow. We've got things to do. Let us know what your synchronicities are. You know what? Maybe we have similar ones. I don't know. At least it's a positive form of hope to see what's happening. So more to come on the other side of this commercial break. You can find us on Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, Twitch, at the Brooklyn Cafe TV. Like and subscribe on YouTube to Amp Media Productions as well for all of the shows that we produce right here, including Call Me Zena, which is coming up today at 2:30. So more to come, and we'll be right back.
Craving bold flavors and the freshest fish in town? Welcome to Sushi Bang Bang, where every roll is a work of art and every bite pure joy. From crispy tempura to melt-in-your-mouth sashimi, this isn't just sushi. It's an experience. Bring your friends, bring your appetite. Call now to reserve 561-292-3705.
Family business. It's me, my sister, and her soon-to-be husband. We've been here for about 5 years doing our thing in this beautiful little spot right in the heart of downtown Boca. We really are like that authentic New York, New Jersey, Northeast thing that you want to have when you're in South Florida. Our bagels are made from scratch every single day. They're top-notch, best you can get around here. And then lunch, chicken Caesar wrap, or like we have a beautiful avocado supreme salad. That's really, really great. And of course, all our sweets are incredible too. You know, something savory, salty, and a little something sweet after. And we will do our best to provide the best service, best food, best everything. And if there's anything you need, we'll do it.
Hi, I'm David Vito Quaderno, the owner of Xavier Restaurant in Meisner Plaza, that is in front of Meisner Park. We're a Sicilian cuisine restaurant, so I'm Sicilian. I'm just arrived from Sicily. I live in Catania, the east coast of Sicily. We offer the traditional Sicilian cuisine with the traditional ingredients that I used to import from Sicily, from the cheese to the oregano to the anchovies and different kind of fish. This is a family business already from the 1897, so it's almost 130 years business, and we're offering here the best. This is the first restaurant in the United States, so I wait for you in Meisner Park to enjoy the best and the real Sicilian kitchen. Ask you to book your tables just to be sure that you will find a place for enjoy the real Sicilian kitchen. Thank you.
For your reservation, you can call at 561-617-5424. We are open from Tuesday to Sunday from 4 to 9:30.
Looking for bold, authentic flavor? Step into Bramer's Brazilian cuisine, where the vibrant taste of Brazil meets your favorite American classics. From savory churrasco to juicy burgers, every dish is made with passion. Hosting a party or a special event? We cater all occasions with incredible food that leaves a lasting impression. Our Boynton Beach location offers generous seating with a separate dining area for bigger parties. Come visit us in person today at 1035 Gateway Boulevard, number 201, Boynton Beach, Florida, 33426. Contact us by phone at 561-272-6377. Enjoy the Brazilian taste. Enjoy the Bramer's taste.
Our preschool team provides personalized education and therapy services that are specifically designed to meet the unique needs of our children. These students are overcoming medical conditions that have been affecting their physical abilities since birth. Our specialized teacher and therapists understand the critical role that occupational and physical therapy play in helping these young children to develop essential skills in their early education program. We like for the children to leave us as shining stars and enter the big world of kindergarten.
You're listening to the Midday Brooklyn Cafe Show with Dawn and Freddy S. Every weekday from 12 to 2, tune in for the ultimate midday escape. The perfect blend of entertainment, culture, and community, all served up with a side of Brooklyn flair. It's the South Florida show that everyone's talking about.
You've been watching the Brooklyn Cafe Show. Join us each day and after hours as we talk about the hot topics to open the conversations and share a few laughs. Now, back to Dawn and Freddy S.
On this day in 1402, Timur, ruler of Timurid Empire, defeats forces of the Ottoman Empire Sultan Bayezid I during the Battle of Ankara.
On this day in 1821, José de San Martín declares the independence of Peru from Spain.
On this day in 1896, the city of Miami is incorporated into the state of Florida. On this day in 2005, the Provisional Irish Republican Army calls an end to its 30-year-long armed campaign against British rule in Northern Ireland.
Right?
And we're back. And remember, caring is sharing. So if you have a show and you have a couple of pages, share the show out. Make a comment, leave a comment. There's a whole new thing that we're going to be doing at the beginning, somewhere along the week, where we're going to ask you to participate, sending out polls and questions of what you want to hear, what you would like to see. Did you like something? Maybe a new singer like Heather. What do you think of that sound? And see if we get some feedback.
Well, tomorrow we're going to be at Rollatini's in Lake Worth with a women's networking event with Michelle Spears, probably 25, 30 women, business owners that are going to be there. We get to do our midday show there, so you're going to see a special edition coming live tomorrow from Rollatini's. If you are in the area of Lake Worth and you want to come, check out your Eventbrite. I'm not sure if it's sold out because space is definitely limited there.
Yes.
But check it out and see, and we can post the flyer as well.
Absolutely, and we're going to have Judy come and do some stand-up for us.
You know, it's really funny because I was texting Judy over the weekend. Do you want to come on? Come on Wednesday. Let's do a stand-up set. She's like, okay, I can come. She picks a day in August. Great. Next thing I know, you tell me Judy's coming tomorrow. And I'm thinking, did she even tell you she was talking to me at the same time?
No.
Crazy, right?
Well, the funny thing is that she knows the president of this particular organization. They know her as Judy. So I said, oh, it would be nice for you to come and do a little stand-up for the ladies. They know you, and let's have some fun with it. Said, oh, yes, let's do it. So she's going to get dressed up in a Marilyn Monroe costume.
Okay.
And she's going to do a little bit of comedy. And I've never seen her work, but we're about to find out, have some fun with it.
But look how her life has changed. Unfortunately, she lost her husband a few years ago. And she grieved and grieved and grieved. And now she has a whole new lease on life.
I think I met her. We were sitting by her at when you had the anniversary, right?
Yes, so she was really funny.
Yeah.
So I'm sitting here thinking, we're watching This Day in History, and we talk about past lives all the time, if you believe in past lives, and how maybe one of our past lives or all of our past lives have impacted this day in history. And then I think, do we remember? Does it change going forward? I'm very philosophical today. Does it going forward, will this life impact the next in history?
Well, the thing is, when you said that to me, I was just looking at This Day in History and recognized, if you go back onto that, the sketches that were there is what I was sketching in this lifetime. Exactly some of my not paintings now, but the drawings that I did, which I'll bring in and show you, were on the screen from This Day in History, which was thousands, well, not many hundreds of years ago. I was drawing that from the very beginning when I started to draw these sketches of the things that I just saw.
So what do we bring into, do you remember past lives at all?
Well, we don't know. We don't really know. I
Deja vu?
It's a deja vu.
Is it deja vu?
But I was able to sketch it, which I didn't know that I was doing that. I'm drawing from past lives. So I got proof.
If you think about past lives and deja vu, sometimes you'll see something occurring, and if you learn the lesson, you'll remember it.
That's the deja vu, right?
And a lot of people are very good at knowing other people. They hire people, coaches and everything else, to make readings. We used to talk about body language, body English, and you're able to see certain things with certain people, but these are past lives coming to this forum, and you've learned from them, and you see them again, and then you say something, oh, it's deja vu, I had it there, and thinking about this and that, but it's really something that you've gone over and over and over.
Well, yeah, because we were just talking about that. We've had many, many lives, but we only bring in, I can only go by what Aldo told me at that point when he was around, because he remembered many of his lives. But you can't go around remembering all your lives. You'd be going crazy. But what you need in this lifetime, you'll draw from a particular lifetime, and you will be able to draw from that and experience it in this lifetime if it's going to help us on our journey. When Aldo first told me that, I'm going, what is he talking about? But the more I understand that, the more I see that, we bring in what we need to know here from another lifetime.
Well, think about it. You were 100 billionth of an egg of eggs.
Right.
And they tap you. The whole thing happened. And here you are. Now, it's really weird how that happens, how the universe happens, how the planet happens. Everything's always in the right place at the right time for things to happen. Even us breathing is a miracle.
Exactly.
So if you think about it, and now you can argue, yeah, that was just luck. You can argue whatever you want. But I can turn around and says, what are the chances of you, of God picking you and saying, or whatever, you don't want to believe in God, I don't care, whatever, picking you, and here you are, to talk about it.
And I've been thinking about this a lot, because there are and I understand that people can't be bothered to even go into understanding that, and that's fine, because you're not ready to do that. I'm not criticizing that. But the way I've got to understand this today, in my mind, I'm going, how can someone not want to know? Because we're here. So the more you dwell in, you go into that, the more you're going to find out, because we're a miracle, really, when you think about it. But this has been going on and on. So is many other things.
Or it happens because it's supposed to happen.
It happens because it's supposed to happen. Yes, it does.
See, you argue. She's one who argues with me about people are going to will it. What do you call that?
Self-fulfilling prophecy?
Yeah, that stuff. But it's happening because it's supposed to happen, just like you were birthed.
Yeah, but if you think about people who are in the streets, people who don't have money, people who are abused, people who are human trafficked, why is that supposed to happen?
Dawn, we're all on it. We're playing, and the easier way to put that is that we're all playing a part. We've been many of these things. And even if you don't understand or even believe it, it makes it a little easier, because you think to yourself, it's, to say to someone, well, that was your choice. Maybe it was.
But Sally, let me ask you a question. If everybody born was given a house, a key, a refrigerator, no bills, and everybody, all they had to do was stay in the house, would the world be the way it is?
No, because we're, from my belief, and I'll talk, I'm more on the show too, is that I believe that we come here to experience things.
But we change things.
But we change things, but we're doing that because if everything was, let's say, perfect, there was no black or white, everything was balanced, which it's not, we're not learning. So we choose a part that we want to learn. So some people in this lifetime may have been totally different in another lifetime. Their personality, I believe, is the same, except maybe what they're doing. We choose what we need to learn more. So I feel, and I believe this, that the tougher our life lessons are, we're learning more, because the more we graduate out of this, let's say, school, we're going to choose tougher lessons because we're learning more at that. If we made nobody escapes this life easy. I mean, absolutely.
But it's not made to be easy. But it's made to be practical. You're given a choice. What path you choose is your choice.
But here's the question, why? Were we put here by whatever you believe in, God, evolution, Adam and Eve? We're here. Are we here to learn? Are we here to teach? Are we here to spread a message?
But why not all of it?
I don't know, that's why I'm asking.
All of it.
We've taken different parts each time. Some people come in because they've graduated and they're teachers to people that want to begin, and they call it waking up a little bit
You see,
more.
but that's too complicated.
No.
I can't get people to be nice to one another on a consistent basis. And the key word there is consistent. You can be nice on Monday, not nice on Tuesday. The problem is that we put so much emphasis in explaining the why. We put so much emphasis on it always being a certain way. It doesn't have to be anyway. Just be nice to one. And again, I don't want to go to biblical. Jesus had a real simple, as a philosopher, a real simple message. Just be nice to one another. Enjoy the good things in life. Are there going to be bad things? Yeah. Are there going to be tornadoes and all that? Yes. It isn't that God brings about tornadoes, cancer, and all that. It's part of what we have in front of us, right?
That's part of our life, our living, and we learn the lesson, but we don't carry on with that lesson because, even when someone passes, you see and you feel, you're upset and you want to live your own, you realize and appreciate things. It doesn't last. It can last a week, it can last 10 days. The thing is to make these things, when we suddenly realize that, have gratitude for what we've had. Now, I'm sure everybody's had gratitude for something, but we need to go back to that time when we had that gratitude, see how we felt, and let's continue with the gratitude.
Well, you see your child born.
Right.
You go, wow. When I saw Freddy born, I said, holy smokes, what is this? But that birth of him is one. That's the miracle of life for me. I'm never going to see him be rebirthed again, no matter what philosophy or whatever the hell you want to color it. He was born once out of his mom, right? That to me is the learning moment, because life is precious. Now, there are a lot of things that can go wrong in a birth. A lot of them. Freddie was rushed down there, and there's a lot of things, but that isn't the lesson. Birth, the message.
We have the opportunity, Freddie, to learn a lot here. It depends, first of all, where we are in our learning growth. I think gratitude is very important because it will bring back these things to us. We forget because life happens. We have learning lessons all the time. The key to have this is to try and begin to get a balance with this and continue and pass that on, because we teach by example of how we are, especially to our kids. Our kids have no one to look up to till a certain age other than their parents. But if their parents haven't got this type of feeling and they're all confused, what happens to the kids? They become, they can go the other way too, and they've had enough of all that drama, but they carry on with the drama. We just need to wake up a little bit and appreciate what we've had, and then we stand a chance of having a halfway decent life, because...
it's funny you say that, because I used to tell Dawn, I used to say, the gift of life is in your hands. Remember I used to say that to you? But she never asked me, what the hell does that mean? What's it mean? What do you think?
You just told me to stop asking why.
So when a child is born, it comes in your hands, doesn't it? Unless you use your feet. But 9 out of 10 times you use your hands, right? Mm-hmm. And there is the gift in your hands. It's a real simple message to learn. as human beings, we should appreciate that. No other animal does that.
Then what's the first thing they do to you when you, I don't know, they still do it, they slap you.
No, that's something we do. But what the object of the game is, you're given a gift in your hands. And the Bible talks about that. The book talks about it. People, philosophers, they all talk about that. But everybody's always looking for another message. It to mean something else. It's simple. Doesn't mean something else. It
How
just
do we do
means
this
that.
then? We've all got to be nice to one another or be positive with one another. And people, you know, they go, oh, yeah, right,
How?
another positive show, you know. But eventually it works to the person that's listening. It's hard. This is hard. It's a tough life.
It is. And then people will give you 400 different
Why
versions
not?
of life in your hands. But you know what?
And I said that to Ashley yesterday. She called. I was taking a walk, and I said, because she's pregnant, how's the baby? And she says she's moving around, she's dancing, she's jumping. And I said, what is it like? It's the miracle of life to feel this. Because I don't think anyone said that to me when I was pregnant.
Right.
To actually embrace the kicking and the heartburn and all the things that you get with every pregnancy, to say, you know what, I'm actually, and I said, you are growing a life. You're growing a child inside, and I thought of you, of the gift that a woman can have. And if you adopt, again, the gift that a woman has given you, to have this child is an amazing creation by God, that we can do this.
That was a beautiful thing to say to her, by the way. I think that
because,
Separation
like I said,
of man and woman.
Well, not
Men-
even that. It's
Men cannot give birth.
No.
No matter what. You can cut that salami, that bologna, any which way you want.
Right.
It is the one reason that men have to look up and say, wow, you're doing something I can never do. We talked about it.
because you get pregnant and you're having a baby, but that 9-month process of, and she said, I'm worried about you. And I said, welcome to motherhood. Because once you find out you are pregnant,
Everything
mother and
changes.
father always worry. But as the mom, you wait and you feel for the kick or the movement. Is it delayed? Is it fast?
That's right.
What's it feel like? Is it more as I get bigger? There's this connection that you can't even describe. And I said that to her yesterday. Just take a moment and enjoy, as I lost my dad, the flip side of the miracle of life, of growing a child, of what that is like.
Right.
And it sounds so cliche, the circle of life, but here I am living this circle of life, and hopefully a beautiful, wonderful grandchild
And it will be. It'll be
around his birthday
but
again.
And I told Dawn, your life is about to change. I didn't know about that, but your life is about to change, because when the child comes, everything changes. Everything from drinking water to eating a burger to just sitting in a room, everything changes, because it ain't about you no more. It's about another life. And that's different. It's different for a grandparent. It's different for a mom and a dad. It's different for an aunt and an uncle. It's just different. They may not acknowledge it, which is okay, because the gift of your hands, no one's going to acknowledge it. But sooner or later, when you get older in life, because I'm a little older than her and you're a little older than me, you appreciate things a little bit differently.
You see things differently as life goes by. You know, it's what we see and what
Absolutely.
we learn.
Absolutely. Very important.
Delivering the message. So yes, I've become very philosophical as I'm coming out of the quicksand. But at least I'm coming out of the quicksand, which is great. And all I can say to all of you, if you're listening, is put a pre-need plan in place. And we had Wayne Henry work with us for years, and we joked about it, the importance of it. But I lived the importance of it last week, and thankfully, Dignity Memorial was everything that Wayne said they were. Down
Absolutely.
every detail. I found like their commercial. Everything had been pre-need, pre-planned, prepaid. All they had to do was pull out the paperwork, and whatever the few things that I added, seamless, easy. And I can't imagine going through a tragedy and not having something like that in place. How much harder that is to pick out everything that you would want.
It's true. When Dad died, I didn't know that the funeral parlor in Puerto Rico was Dignity. And they said, no, it's pre-done. Everything's done. I said, everything but the casket. He didn't want to go pick up a casket, because most men don't want to go do that. And we had to do that. I did that with Linda and my sister. And for Dad, Mom was a whole different animal. But that is a whole Dignity compound as well. And They do everything. And you don't understand what everything means until you are in the midst of that war, when everything is around you moving at 1,000,000 miles a minute. You can't think straight, you can't eat straight, and then you have people on top of that that are just breaking down. They make it so much easier for you to get through the day.
And we were able to go in that day and honor my dad and not have to think about all the details or paying, because everything had been prepaid. So the price gets locked in now. And no, this is not a commercial for dignity, but you lock your price in, you pay it, and hopefully you don't need it for another 50 years, 100 years. But it's done. And you don't have to worry about coming up with the money at the end of the day either. So I'm going to bring Debbie in because she worked with us, and I guess we've worked with her before.
We have.
And I got to tell you, they were unbelievable. So thank you to Dignity Memorial and Menorah Gardens, and that's where the Star of David came in.
Yeah.
She knew.
A lot of stuff.
I did.
It's a lot of stuff, a lot of philosophical, but
It's touching me.
but as I come out of this, I hope that the message is that you cherish your loved one's memory, because all those details, as they get worked out, you're trudging through them. But that's what it is. It's about your loved one.
It's tough. It's a tough moment of your life, and anything that makes it just a little bit easier, you're going to appreciate it as time goes on.
So thanks for joining us in this philosophical conversation.
Thank you for having me.
I don't know where it all
show.
came from. I guess the angels are all there. They're all in my head being chatty today.
And I know I've got two wonderful guests on my show, both
So
of you guys.
apparently we're going to be talking about dreams, which is a whole other chaos.
Yes.
Dreams, yes. We took a survey. We have some questions for you.
Good.
Even color versus black and white. So many questions.
I can't wait.
Well, we also are going to be working with Sushi Bang Bang. I may go to dinner there tonight. It's funny what a picture does. So I sent the picture on. Everybody wants to meet me there now for dinner. I says, okay. I mean, with things the way they were, I didn't know where we were going to be and all that. But we're going to be doing something there. We're going to be going to the Indian restaurant. What's the name of it?
Coriander.
Coriander, up by Gateway, right next to our spot.
I love Indian food.
It's unbelievable.
And we're going to be at Casey Market.
In Casey Market, we have a commercial. We're going to be there as well, which is right next to, between Coriander and our other spot, which shall remain nameless, is going to be there as well. And then we have the other one, Riley's.
We have...
O'Reilly? No,
that's not what it is. Orion.
Orion.
Like
Orion
I
on
have to
Congress.
think about what's in your head and say the right word.
Orion on Congress, which is the same owner as Novus. We're going to be shooting up there as well. And again, this is all part of the walk, the food walk that we're trying to accomplish by the end of the summer. I was called, I even told Dawn, I was called to go and meet with Sabre.
Were you?
Yeah.
Nice.
On Old Boynton Road.
So a lot of great things, a lot of great restaurants. Enjoy it while it's a little quiet in summer, because come season, it's going to be harder to get in. So get in now. Join us. We're going to put calendar out, post where we're going to be tomorrow. We're going to be at Rollatini's in Lake Worth. And then more to come. As August hits, we roll into August. Next week, we'll have a full calendar of schedule of events.
A lot of stuff coming up. And we want you to join us. We're going to have some of the hosts join us. I wish all the hosts would join us, because this is your opportunity to meet new crowds. You're going to go to them not come to you. Shake hands, kiss some babies, and see what happens.
All right. Have a great afternoon, everyone. Stay safe. Be kind to each other. Enjoy the gratitude. And tune in today at 2:30 to Call Me Zena Dreams. See what your dreams mean.
And don't be late.
Bye-bye.
Well, that's about it for today. Even though the show's over, the Brooklyn Cafe is always open for business. You're invited to join the fun every day from 12 to 2. If you missed some of the laughs from today, Dawn and Freddy S will bring you more good cheer next time. You can follow the Brooklyn Cafe on Facebook at the Brooklyn Cafe TV to rewatch every minute of the show. We'll see you next time.